I do wonder if honesty is ever really going to be a thing when it comes to this relationship. When it comes to Jasmine in any of her relationship, despite the man that she finds, there's always a form of lies. And to be fair, you can also argue that there's also a form of lies even from her side. But as you can see here, Matt lies to his mom about Jasmine's marital status, tells her they're engaged, which is quite fascinating because we have seen the preview of the next episode and we do see him actually look like as if he's actually going to propose to Jasmine, which, in my opinion, is a very crazy thing to do given the fact that she's still a married woman. Proposing to a woman that is still married? Has anyone ever done that before? That just seems so weird. But hey, I guess we have to wait and find out, obviously, what happens on the episode, which we will be, of course, reporting on this channel. So make sure you like and you subscribe so you can obviously stay tuned for when that comes out, if you do get what I'm saying. And of course, notifications on if they ever work. If you know, you know. Now, as you can see, it does say that Matt appears to be keeping some major things from his mum about Jasmine's marital status. He has finally introduced the two ladies on Happily Ever After. The reality TV star conveniently omitted a few details about Jasmine before the meeting. Even Matt even lied to his mum about exchanging rings with his baby mama. He twisted the truth to make things less awkward in front of his family. Because we know when it comes to Matt, well, Matt's always been very worried about the judgment that he may receive from his family, given the fact that he's with a woman that is one, married, two, a woman that he then got pregnant, and he doesn't even actually, he isn't actually married to himself. So there's a lot of things that he's worried about due to his own culture because he is a man from Romania, and when it comes to his family, they follow a certain tradition, should I say. So with that being said, he continues here by saying TLC star tried to impress his family without thinking about the consequence of hiding the messy reality of his potential wife. Matt was already nervous before introducing Jasmine to his family. He opened up about the conservative values in the previous episode. How did Jasmine react to it? How long will Matt keep up the act? And to be honest with you, let's talk about Jasmine in this situation. Let's just forget about her reaction because really and truly we haven't really seen it yet until the episode comes. But one thing that I will say is that Jasmine has to learn her lesson that she can't continue to keep going for men that seem to always want to hide the truth about her. Because let's keep it a buck. When she was with Gino, his family, well, they wasn't exactly keen on her to begin with. They felt like she was a gold digger and felt like as if she was somebody who was using him just to get to the United States, which, well, we are where we are with that one, if you know what I mean. But here's the thing, folks. At the end of the day, Jasmine obviously continuously keeps on making the same mistakes in terms of her men because she keeps dating men who aren't fully proud of who she is. They seem to be dating men that always need to hide something about her, if you understand what I'm saying here. But nonetheless, though, let's continue. So obviously Jasmine reveals her pregnancy to her mum. This is something that we did witness in the most recent episode. In the most recent episode of 90 Day Fiance Happy Ever After, Jasmine obviously reveals the fact that she's pregnant to her mum for the very first time, or at least in the storyline the very first time. And also at the same time, Jasmine's mum also meets Matt also for the very first time in the storyline. Which of course, to be fair, I guess went better than what Jasmine would imagine because the mum obviously was then welcoming to the situation and obviously very supportive to the fact that her daughter is now pregnant with her third child, with her third man. But yeah, imagine that you got a daughter, 3 kids, 3 different men. I don't know how that would make me feel as a parent, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Now, of course, as you can see, it does give us a little bit more information saying Jasmine decided to come clean before giving birth to her baby daughter. She has been keeping many things from her and her actual dynamics with Gino lately. And here's the thing, Matt is somebody that has withheld information from his mother and his family, and Jasmine has literally gone and done the same thing with her family too, which tells you that these two are literally two peas in a pod. In fact, it tells you that Jasmine, in reality, hasn't got a right to be upset with Matt for him withheld information from his parents or kind of tweaking a little bit for certain reasons. Because at the end of the day, if she's going to do it, well, then he's going to do it. So therefore, it can't be one rule for you and another one for me. But then at the same time, we know Jasmine is the kind of person who lives by that kind of energy, where it's one rule for her, but a whole different rule for her partner, which has always been, very, very problematic in the long run. But nonetheless, though, it does say the reality TV star chatted with Celia on a video call. Hence, Jasmine admitted she has not been honest with her for a few months. A few months. Listen, it's not even a few months. Jasmine didn't tell her mum about the pregnancy and Matt's existence, well, at least the pregnancy, until it got to like 7 months, I believe. Yo, that's a lot of months there to not tell your mother that you're literally getting pregnant. And also on top of that, Matt has been in her life for literally at least minimum over a year. And her mom had no idea he existed. Honestly, that lie there is a big, big lie because of how long she withheld this information. But hey, I guess when it comes to being a parent, you haven't got a choice sometimes but to forgive your child and to just support them rather than, put them down at a certain time in their life. But then again though, like I said before, you've got a child, a daughter, three kids, three different men. Maybe mommy needs to change her strategy in terms of how she goes about business with her mother, but sorry, with her daughter. But that's just me. With that being said, though, she stated there is a situation, mommy. There's a situation, mommy, in my life that is very complicated, and of course, this is when she came out to finally confess about her marriage with Gino being completely kaput, and also on top of that, confessing that she's the one that had the idea of an open marriage, and therefore this open marriage led to her and Gino's breakup, as well as also her now getting pregnant with another man despite still being married but separated from Gino. The whole thing is nothing but a hot mess. Honestly, as a parent, I don't know how I would receive that from my daughter. Yeah, so daddy, guess what? You know the guy that I'm married to? Yeah, that guy, the guy that, maybe even asked for your permission. Yeah, so I decided that I wanted to have an old marriage because it wasn't working. And in that process, I ended up getting pregnant with somebody else. Yeah, how the hell would I process that? Oh boy, I'm more interested in how the hell you guys would process that information. So let me know. Now, with that being said, it continues by saying Matt lied about Jasmine's past to his family. So let me play a little bit of this clip itself in particular.
Nothing. You believe in God. That's green. Good.
You believe in God. That's green. The way he's letting her know that this is green, my mom's going to be happy about this. This guy is something else.
Does she? I think she knows you've been married once.
Was it just that one time she was married? Wait, it was, wasn't it? Yeah. I thought it was. No, she married twice now, but Gino's a second husband. So yeah, she's been married twice, right?
I said back in Panama.
Does she know I'm still married?
No.
So he told his mom that this woman was married back in Panama. So that means she would be married to somebody else at that point. Hasn't told her that she's currently married to somebody in the United States. In fact, in Michigan. Whew.
That one, that's a no bueno. So I know. No, tell her.
So what are we then?
And this is where it gets funky.
Besides having a daughter, what are we?
She kept asking me about, like, are we staying together? Or what are you guys doing? Like,
I mean, listen, let's call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. This man is literally beating around the bush. Just get to the point. What did you tell your mother? This is the question. But you know when somebody's beating around the bush, that's when you know whatever they've said probably isn't cool.
how is there a baby when there hasn't been a marriage? I did tell her,
I do apologize. I have to keep pausing it purely just to break up the copyright issue that I will get from TLC. Yeah, anyway, let's continue.
that we're engaged.
You're joking.
There's so many different ways we can look at this situation, folks. Him telling his mother that he's engaged is him basically saying that he's confident that Jasmine's going to say yes to him if he ever proposes. But also on top of that, it's also saying that maybe he's trying to put Jasmine in a position where he feels like he feels like he will trap her in this method. Because if he goes into meeting his parents, and well, when he goes to meet his parents with Jasmine, Jasmine now knows that the mummy thinks that they're engaged. Jasmine has a choice. Either one, she goes along with it, or two, she says, no, we've got to tell them the truth. Ideally, number two is the best one because if Jasmine wants to make a good impression on Matt's family, truth is definitely going to be it. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, look at Chantel. When Chantel went into it lying about Pedro, well, we also had that worked out. Do you see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, she's got two options. Either yes, she goes into it, we're saying, no, we're going to be truthful and say we're not married. And so we're not engaged. Or we're going to go along with the fact that we are engaged. But bear in mind that if Jasmine goes along with the idea that they're engaged, what does that mean? That means that if he does propose to her, well, at least it looks like he's going to propose to her, she's going to be in a position where she's going to be more inclined to feel like she kind of has to say yes now. So therefore, the lie becomes the truth, which therefore will then cover up that I guess they wasn't lying in the first place. But at the same time, though, he's saying they're engaged. Doesn't that mean Jasmine has to turn up to meet his mother and his sister with a wedding ring? Because without a wedding ring, How the hell are they going to believe this information? So there's also that part as well. And based on the preview that we saw, it looks like he proposed to her with some sort of ropey, stringy thingy-majiggy, not even a ring. So, yeah, I don't think Matt really thought about this that well. But nonetheless, though, if the guy wants to walk in there lying, then he let him be, let him do his kind of thing. But as far as I'm concerned, Jasmine's got an option here. Whether she wants to be introduced to somebody that's more than happy to lie to his parents for the first time because of Matt. But let's not forget though, Pedro lied to Chantel's parents not because he wanted to, but because of Chantel making up the lie. This is literally the same situation. Jasmine's walking in a situation where she's gonna lie to the parents because of Matt. So she has to really make that choice. What are we going to do? Like I said, for me personally, she's better off going in and saying, no, we're not engaged yet, okay? We're still getting to know each other, even though we got a kid. Just be authentic, and at the end of the day, the parents are going to respect you for that, even if they reject her. Because at least they can respect that she's an honest woman, and therefore they've got a better chance of walking or turning around and saying, you know what, we like this one because at least she didn't come in here trying to be phony and trying to be fake and trying to lie to us. And to be fair, there's also a part where maybe Matt's family is used to him actually always lying anyway. So they may be like, at least now he's got a woman that can actually, make sure that she can hold him accountable for lies and be truthful, if you dig what I'm saying. But nonetheless, though, of course, we have to wait to find out what's going to happen has come of the episode, obviously, this weekend. Do you see what I'm saying? So obviously, if you have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe, so therefore you can stay tuned with everything that's obviously going to happen with the upcoming episodes that will, of course, reporting on this channel. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.